already got your screen up, and you can begin the presentation, and we'll chat at the end. Thank you, and thanks for your patience, everybody.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for the introduction. As Jeff mentioned, I'm Jordan Levy. I'm one of the co-founders of CapSource. We're a technology company that focuses on experiential learning and experiential hiring. And today we're going to be talking about how industry can leverage open innovation as part of their talent strategy and research and development strategy. So again, it's really an honor to be a part of the One Business World community. This is actually my second year contributing as a leading entrepreneur of the world. And I love the format of this virtual conference. So we're going to dive in, and please feel free to ask questions in the chat, and we'll definitely be able to address those towards the end. So the first thing I wanted to kind of share with you all is a little bit about CapSource. So overall, our mission is to help academic and industry partners create experiential learning and hiring programs that target next-gen talent, really help them learn more about the world around them. It's very synergistic with the One Business World vision and mission. The 5 tools that we use to do that are live cases, OpenCases, mentorship programs, microinternships, and case competitions. So really, all of these are forms of open innovation, and that's kind of why we call it, for our industry partners, an open innovation ecosystem, really getting a chance to tap into next-gen talent, next-gen ideas. So really the core of our platform has always started from the perspective that we think everything should be a learning experience at its core in order to create engagement and residual value for organizations. So if you invest into your team members, invest into your prospective future business leaders and your next-gen talent, how can that ultimately provide you with more benefit besides the training and development for them, but more so as an organization? So I first like to start with the industry integrated experiential learning model, which talks about how students are using key universal transferable skills like communication, critical thinking, teamwork, leadership, intercultural fluency, professional aptitude, career management, and digital technologies. These are known as the NACE 8 career competencies, which the NACE organization has defined as the most important for students as they're training to be real-world professionals. So, of course, what rings true is that if you have competencies in these areas, you ultimately can launch your career more successfully. So we build collaborations that encourage students to use these skills so that they can actually improve in some of these areas. Ultimately, they're using these skills to develop real insights for real stakeholders. That focus ultimately is what empowers them to grow as individuals. Those students get feedback from real professionals so that they can walk away with reference-worthy experience. Reference-worthy experience is crucial when interviewing and when building your resume. And the difference between a traditional classroom experience and something that you might experience with CapSource as a student is that you're really working on a real project for a real organization that has topics that are relevant to your studies so that you can actually produce some real outcomes and showcase that as part of your portfolio. And so because you can attribute it to a real challenge in a real organization, you actually can use that as an artifact to help you propel your career forward. On the other side, we call it experiential hiring. So why do companies ultimately engage in this style of collaboration? So the net of it is that we're using case-based, project-based, and team-based engagements in order to assess the soft skills, technical skills, and culture fit of individuals who are interested in your organization. So we use these tools, the 5 modules that I showed earlier, to ultimately have organizations engage and assess talent. Ultimately to integrate the outcomes, their ideas, and the talent into their organization successfully. This is the breeding ground for open innovation. And so on this next slide, we're going to talk a bit about, it's a little bit lagged here, what is open innovation, right? And I actually pulled this from the Mass Challenge website. They broke down the Henry Chesbrough, the research professor at University of Berkeley, who created the concept of open innovation. I just wanted to define this so everyone kind of understands what at a core we're talking about here today. So open innovation is the practice of a company opening its R&D department to input from people outside the company or to employees from other departments within the organization. So by breaking down traditional silos between departments or between yourself and your customer, yourself and industry, you're welcoming external experts and researchers to remove the classic limitations and the secretive model that is typically placed on innovation efforts. So that's what we're trying to address here, using a model called experiential learning, experiential hiring, creating an opportunity for people to learn about you and to contribute to your organization. So let's talk about getting started. So how does this work in practice, and what are the benefits, right? So we think that experiential learning and experiential hiring is open innovation. It's a form of open innovation. And so the key benefits for an organization to do this, number one, you get carefully structured research and development projects, right? So you get to define them, you get to hand them off to students and faculty or next-gen talent or your own employees, however you want to manage your own ecosystem. They develop outcomes based on those projects. Number two, we motivate outsiders to contribute unique and creative ideas. Number three, we connect with our audience through high-touch marketing. Remember, at the end of the day, every interaction with a human outside the business is a marketing interaction at its core, an opportunity to sell them on an employer brand or on the products that you sell themselves. Develop a well-known, connected, and caring employer brand. So that employer brand sticks with the people who apply effort to open innovation projects for the rest of their career. They're going to remember these learning experiences. They're going to remember these hackathons, these case competitions, these micro-internships that they engaged in and become lifelong excitable talent or partners in the future. Establish a process to engage and qualify next-gen talent. So, of course, this is a great method to engage next-gen talent. Design low maintenance but highly rewarding collaborations. So the key is to, how do you make this happen at scale? You have to keep it low maintenance and make sure that it's valuable. And then, of course, we have to minimize risk and exposure through careful design and documentation. Plus, of course, storage of all the ideas in a very private place. So that's all some of the core of how and why, the benefits of ultimately engaging in open innovation and some of the implications as you think about it as applying it to your business model. So one thing I like to show is what the experiential bargain is all about, how students and young professionals engaging in experiential learning ultimately pair up with companies that are in it for experiential hiring. They get to apply theory, you get some fresh ideas. They get to work on real projects and real stakes, you get cost-effective solutions. They get to develop skills and network, you get to evaluate talent from a skills perspective and from a culture fit perspective. And then they walk away with reference-worthy experience, and you get to select and retain top talent. Reference-worthy experience is like Brandon's experience working for Verizon as a student, an MBA student with several years of work experience, who was really interested in pricing strategy and developing financial models based on those pricing strategies. So he was able to share all of this relevant experience, all because a company invested into him. And now he's a lifelong affiliate and enthusiast of Verizon because of the time and effort that Verizon invested into him. Of course, perfect for LinkedIn, resumes, and interviews. So let's get into some of the tooling that can be used for open innovation. So how do you activate open innovation if you're interested in getting started? Number one, live cases. Live cases are a way to collaborate with classrooms across the world in different topics. You want to work with social work and social impact. You want to work with business, engineering. There's really no limits. The main thing is getting involved in the student learning experience and taking that to the next level for them as a partner. Open cases are asynchronous versions of live cases. So how can you post content so that people all around the world can answer those challenges and get involved in your business from an intellectual perspective? Mentorship. How can your team members coach and mentor other people within the ecosystem so that you can get them involved in your brand? Microinternships, short-term projects. How do you activate the most highly engaged users to get more involved in your brand? And then, of course, competitions. We use this as a great tool to coalesce interest and organize people in an effort to get them working towards an open innovation outcome. So to get into a bit of detail, our live case experiences are typically built into a traditional classroom experience. They're used in boot camps. They're used in high schools. There's really a lot of applications of how live cases can be used. The net is that the students need chances to apply what they're learning in the classroom to real-world challenges. So we take a challenge that you have, an open innovation challenge, we put some resources together for them, and then you offer synchronous help for the students as they move through the curriculum. These have been extremely successful for us. This was our first product that we ever released. This is an example of students presenting their live ideas directly to the director of sales and marketing for a company called CoinSource. This company has actually hired 8 students as a result of their positive work experience and the outcomes that they were able to develop, and continues to come back to re-engage with our network of schools and young professionals because they see this as a great open innovation tool. OpenCases takes that concept and really dilutes it down to an asynchronous experience. If you don't want to directly collaborate and offer office hours and synchronous collaboration, what can we do here in order to provide you with an easier plug-and-play experience? Well, we can give you a tool to post your challenge to the world. And so faculty and students can log in, find your company, and actually begin answering some of your open innovation challenges based on the resources you provide. It's an extremely fun experience for students. It's much lower risk than a live case because, at the end of the day, they're not held to the same high standard of a live case outcome where they've been working hand in hand and getting feedback all along. They're really just trying to come up with great ideas, of course, where there's no real right answer. It's an open innovation challenge. We've done these open innovation open cases for the last couple of years. Some of our more popular ones from American Cancer Society and Burger King are all about how the company's context is shifting, and how minimum wage requirements would impact Burger King, and how American Cancer Society can create a board of ambassadors strategy that would work in cities across the United States. So a really fun, exciting tool that's now part of our system, and really yields some great outcomes for very low input from companies. In addition, we feel like mentorship is a great tool for open innovation. It's quid pro quo. How can you mentor young professionals, provide them, with ideas and skills and feedback, all the while getting them more interested in your brand? So all of our mentorship curriculums are 3 weeks long. They pair individuals through that curriculum, through a series of conversation topics and deliverables. And ultimately, we just want to see people grow and connect in a meaningful way rather than kind of an open-ended LinkedIn style connection. This is really driven by a collaboration that builds a great mentorship relationship. So these curriculums are all built to really drive specific professional development outcomes. When you build your profile on CapSource, you actually get a chance to decide which professional development topics you're interested in, and those are the types of topics that you'll ultimately be involved with from a mentorship perspective. Microinternships are short-term projects with young professionals, so giving people a chance to taste your employer brand, taste what it's like to work in a department, taste what it's like to deliver outcomes based on a project prompt. You could do it as individuals, small teams, or even larger groups if you'd like. And it's a really fun way to just get young professionals interested in your brand, working on projects to prove that they're qualified. So another really cool open innovation concept. The last one I'll mention here is a live case competition. So this is a really fun experience for students to actually get involved in high impact collaborations and compete with teams from all around the world. You get lots of really good ideas. It's a little bit more intensive of a collaboration because we need more information for more teams participating. And of course, there's a lot more ideas that come out of that. But we typically have anywhere from 12 to, it could be upwards of 50 teams if you're doing a fully virtual one. And it's a really fun experience for the company because you're really outsourcing in a mass way how to get feedback on an idea. So one of the examples, so CoinSource has done these case competitions before. Doordash has done these case competitions before. I'll quickly go through the Doordash example. First started with a deep dive on the business model and technology. After that, the students did a competitive and industry analysis on student dining landscape. So the whole point here was trying to figure out how Doordash can get involved in meal plans of the future, especially in a post-COVID environment. The students wrapped up by analyzing key stakeholders and go-to-market options and proposed a go-to-market strategy, including actionable action items. So ultimately, we reached 400 students, lots and lots of teams, lots and lots of ideas, and goodwill passed along to these students. All that came through this live case model. So it's something worth checking out, especially if you're trying to spread a new idea, get a lot of feedback, highly nuanced feedback. This isn't just off the cuff notes. This is the nuts and bolts of what's going to be required in order for you to really drive growth within your business and within a product category, or even technical areas such as product development, growth strategy, software design and development. You could really apply these concepts to anywhere within your business. So this is a highlight of some of the rich history we've had. Our most recent competitions was with the NATOs. They actually had the student teams come up with an amazing strategy to help drive growth within the Gen Z market. So that was really an interesting aspect to get students to work on, because they are that target audience. So of course it's worth thinking about from that perspective. I did want to mention we have 3 upcoming competitions that we're looking for an industry partner to sponsor. The first one coming up is the Southern Regional. It's taking place in Nashville, Tennessee. So if you're interested in participating, we launch all of our competitions virtually, and then the final presentations are a chance for you to meet the students that are participating and ultimately hear their presentations. It's a super fun experience. We'll help to make it very turnkey to organize all the materials and the information and the case study, and then you just sit back and relax and enjoy that ride of open innovation. In addition, we have another fall virtual competition coming up that launches in October and runs through November, right before Thanksgiving. So we highly recommend checking that one out if you're interested in a less physically intensive challenge, but ultimately just as rewarding, because we can get students from all over the world responding. Lastly, Spring ACAM coming up in Orlando, Florida. We partner actually with an organization called IACBE to offer some of these case competitions, but they're open to schools and students from all around the world who often participate. So it'll be really fun to get companies involved in that as well. So if you're interested in any of these, feel free to reach out. It's a great way to get started with open innovation. It's something that we offer as a platform tool, but we offer this as a service to get more people involved in our community. Lastly, I'll mention, we're currently reaching faculty and students from over 150 global institutions. So far, about 10,000 students have engaged in our experiential learning and hiring programs, with about 800 industry partners of all shapes and sizes, early startups all the way through Fortune 500. So if you're interested in this type of experience, there's definitely a way to get started through any one of the modules and tools that we went through today. Lastly, I'll leave up my contact information here. If you're interested in getting in touch, you can feel free to schedule time directly with us, or shoot us an email, text message, or phone call, and we're happy to get back to you. Chakshu is our Director of Industry Partnerships, helps to bring in new partners and match them with the right types of tools and programs. Ankush is my co-founder and our Director of Product, who's working on the incredible system that we use to support all of these collaborations, and then myself on top. So I want to thank One Business World and Leading Entrepreneurs of the World Conference for an opportunity to share how open innovation could really be an exceptional, not only R&D tool, but talent acquisition tool and talent assessment tool. Hopefully you see some ideas here of ways you can get involved with talent, with especially next-gen talent, as a source for innovation and ideas, because the more you stay in touch with that next generation, the more likely you're going to be successful as a long-term brand. So now that we're wrapping up, we have a few minutes for questions, so I'll pause there. But thank you again for coming to our session, and we look forward to chatting more soon.